Round the clock, please, and welcome to another episode of Rants of a Barça Girl. My name is Esther, like you already know. And I am super excited today. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, God. I am over the moon. It's been a fantastic week, in the life of we Barcelona fans. It's been good. So remember last week when we spoke about international break, how our boys performed wonderfully well. Well, they extended that to this, few matches that will be played this week. It has been good, mind-blowing. And then we also spoke about Frankie, the young injury, how Hansi Flick is monitoring that, when he will be back. Well, he's back. Yeah. Frankie de Jong is back and he pulled a masterclass. Actually, he pulled a masterclass in our first Champions League game. We will discuss all this. So how are you guys? Have you been doing? Has it been a beautiful week for you as well? Did you have time to catch our games, Valencia? And of course, the Newcastle game, I hope you do. And if you don't, you can always go to YouTube and just watch the preview there. Just I'm sure there are like various snippets of that game, or probably go to Barcelona's YouTube where you'll be able to find everything there. You should, it was a banger. Anyways, guys, so now let's just move to business. We played Valencia on Sunday in what was a stupefying match. We had 6-0. Like, 3 of our players got a brace. I kid you not. We got a brace. So remember that match? We played that match. For those that didn't watch it anyway, we were unable to play it at Camp Nou because we're still not back at Camp Nou, and we couldn't play it at Montjuic because of the Post Malone concert. Yeah, so we had to play our first home game at Johan Cruyff. And it was beautiful. It was amazing. You know what? Although the crowd was, the capacity of the stadium is 6,000, and I think the overall attendance was about 5,900, close to 5,900-ish, And at first, I was very cynical about the whole thing because I was thinking 6,000 is a very small crowd. How is that going to pan out? But it was a beautiful atmosphere. Like, the stadium looked lit. The environment was well lit. It was giving good vibes, good energy, for at least for our first game at home. And then the fact that we got 6 goals actually added to the whole atmosphere. It was beautiful. Like I said, we had 3 braces. Like, 3 of our players got a brace. Just look at that. Yeah, so the lineup was a bit shocking to me, especially at the front, because I expected, Raphinha to start the match. But Hansi Flick policy, so he was late and he couldn't start. So we had Rooney playing Lamine side, and then Rashford, of course, playing Raphinha, the normal Raphinha side. So talking Rooney to the right, Rashford to the left, and then Fermín started ahead of Lewandowski. The midfield, of course, had Fermín playing, the 10. We had Pedri, then we had Casado, which was beautiful. And then we had Koundé, we had Gerard Martin, the lineup was perfect, actually. I mean, based on what we have. So we started the game, of course, good press from the very beginning. We're playing so well. And at the end of first half, Fermín got a goal. He got a goal, I think, actually at 29th minute. Yeah, he got a goal, a beautiful goal, actually. And then the first half ended 1-0. So in terms of Rooney performance, I mean, it was his first LaLiga game. So you can expect that, he's still adjusting. So we won't really talk much about his performance. Anyway, second half, so Hansi Flick made some changes, So Raphinha took over from Rooney in that second half, sorry. And then it was fun from that onward. It was fun. So Raphinha then scored, the second goal at 53 minutes. Oh God, beautiful. And then Fermín said, "Oh, that's not enough. I need to get a second goal in this game." And then he scored just 3 minutes after Raphinha. I know. And then Raphinha said, "Hold your horses. There are still goals for me in this game." And then Raphinha decided to get what? Score the second goal. I know. And then Hansi Flick made some other substitutes. Lewandowski came in to replace Ferran. And then Lewandowski is like, "Okay, you guys are not pushing me out. I still have the strength. I might be in my late 30s, but I still have the strength to compete with you guys." And he decided to put in another 2 goals. I know. I mean, 76 minutes, and so he got 2 goals within 10 minutes. And that was it. We had 6-0. 6-0 in what was a stupefying match. God, guys, it was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful game, you know. First home game, and we scored that much of a goal, which wasn't really surprising, you know, our last season, you know, we just kept the goals coming last season. We were amazing, like almost, was it not over 160 goals from us last season? So I wasn't surprised. This is not like a new thing, you know. We like scoring multiple goals, so that was a really, really good match. Anyway, Rashford also got an assist in that game, so I think that's worthy of mention. So you can imagine that was on Sunday. So that kind of started my week on a very bright, rosy note, you know. I was just excited all through. Also because Champions League was coming. And then, you know, the new format had, you know, games on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So there were so many things, so many matches to look forward to. So, and because my boys, you know, like I said, started the Sunday with a bang. And I was like, oh God, this week is already going to be amazing. I was flying on the moon. You should see me. I was flying, and I was so anxious about Thursday, you know, because we're playing Newcastle away. And I figured, you know, because of their low block way of playing, I think, oh God, this might not be an easy game for us. Also because Bade is injured. We still don't know if De Jong was going to start at that point. Lamine is also still out of the squad. So I was excited because I know we have the strength, we have the squad, regardless of all these injuries that we had going on, to win the game. But at the same time, I know that going to St. James Park was not going to be like an easy ride for us. And also because of the very defensive way Newcastle plays, I was thinking, okay, let's see how it goes. Anyway, Tuesday came. There was a lot of interesting matches. You know, Arsenal scored. Won Atletico Bilbao. That was a good match, to be honest. I think is worthy of mention because I feel like Atletico Bilbao had some chances, but funny enough, they were not clinical enough. You know, that was good. Real Madrid also found a way to win against Marseille. We're not going to discuss those ones. Anyways, Thursday finally came in, and guess what? Boom! I know. I just had to do that drum roll. Let me do the drum roll. Boom, 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 boom. And then the squad list came out, and funny enough, I think for me, I kind of know what the front would look like. You know, I have an idea of what the midfield too would look like, but I was especially who we would use as centre backs. That was something that I wasn't really sure of because I know Koundé. I should also mention that Koundé against Valencia. Oh my God, he has gotten his mojo back. I think maybe because of the international, but Koundé is back and he's back in full force. I'm telling you guys, Koundé was amazing. It was like I was watching Dani Alves. I don't know. Can you remember the prime Dani? He was like that. It was giving me that vibe on Sunday against Valencia. And I was so happy because I realized that we would need this Koundé against Newcastle. Anyway, let's go back to the Newcastle game. And then the squad list came out. I was thinking, what are we going to do? Is it going to be Christensen, Arao? Is it going to be Christensen, Kubasi? Also because I know Newcastle has a lot of tall players, guys. You know how tall they are. The new striker they got, Wolftermate, I don't know if it's like 6'5", Born is over 6. You know, they are tall players. So I was thinking, okay, what are we going to do? Anyways, the squad list came out, and Arao, I know I was Arao, Kubasi at that centre back, and then it was Gerard Martin and Koundé, you know, at a full back, which was good. And then the shocking thing was the fact that De Jong is actually back, fully fit, and he started the game. I know. So in the midfield, we decided to go with Pedri, De Jong, and then we had Fermín, which wasn't really surprising because I feel like, oh, you would start Fermín over Omo because of how amazing Fermín was in the last match. Trust me, that guy was on fire. So we had that in the midfield, and then at the front, of course, we had Raphinha playing where Lamine usually plays. I'm talking about the left, and then of course Rashford took. I'm talking about the right. Sorry, and then of course Rashford took his own usual place at the left, and then Lewandowski as our 9. Anyway, so that was our squad against Newcastle. And then when the game started, guys, the first 7 minutes, oh my god, the first 10 minutes, Newcastle were all fire, like they were all muzzle. We couldn't even, they were not even giving on any rest. They were pushing full power. I mean, we couldn't even get the ball. I remember saying, God, what is this guys trying to do? You know, they were trying to go full force, and I think what they wanted to do was to quickly get in a goal and then defend. And they were going, and we couldn't even. First 10 minutes was like fire from them, like full energy. Anyways, first half came. They had a very good shot. I think the best shot in the first half was from them. And now we have a new keeper, guys. You know now, Garcia. That boy was amazing yesterday. I mean, so the first critical, I mean, like a clinical shot actually that came from Newcastle, and then Garcia just like, you know, ticked it away. Boom, 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 boom. I was so happy. So that first half wasn't very good for us because although we were playing, at some points the game was a bit calm. You know, we find a bit of a tempo, but there was barely any shot on target from us. So we had shots coming in, but there was no shot on target. And then it ended 0-0. So at that point, I feel like, okay, we kind of had an idea of what their game plan was. Newcastle was defending, you know, they were Elanga, they were pressing, you know, they were pressing the Gerard Martin side, which was really expected. You know, Elanga was really making use of that space. That was good. Gordon to try to kick some in, but at that point I feel like we had an idea of what they were going on, and Hansi Flick also kind of, I think the 15 minutes must have said, I don't know what he said to the boys, you know, was like, okay, anyways, I think Newcastle too was a good game from them in the first 5 minutes as well. Very defensive, very tactical. And then second half came, and we didn't change anybody. We still went on with our lineup, you know, with Rashford, Lewandowski, and Raphinha. And Rashford, second half was much more better from us because at that point we found a tempo, and we were able to hold on to the ball. You know, at this point we were able to like distribute, you know, and I need to say it's Pedri and De Jong. Oh my word, those two, you know, because prior to the game people were like, oh, Newcastle are going to dominate us, and I think I had I read in some few articles and some few videos that all they had to do was like contain Pedri, and if Pedri was unable to distribute to us, and then, you know, that would, you know, kind of take off us our game and stuff like that. And I think they did try that at the first half, but the second half, you know, my boys showed them it's not all about might, you know, it's not about stoleness, it's about tactics, it's about skills, you know, small but mighty, you know, those kind of things. Calm down, guys. This is not about strength. We don't do things the brutal way in Barca, you know, in Barca rather. We calm down, we have skills. Anyway, that was what happened in the second half. So they were able to distribute more. And then, guys, I don't know if you remember when we brought in Rashford, and I said, if you go back to my podcast, maybe like 4 or 5 episodes back, and during the transfer window, we brought in Rashford, and I said, if there is ever a player that I want to succeed now more than ever on our squad, I think it's Rashford. Hey, guys, God does hear prayers. Oh, God does answer prayer, because yesterday, Rashford was the angel. And another thing I wanted to say as a special mention is the new, I don't know whoever is now managing Barcelona's page on Twitter. Kudos to them. In fact, they have been fantastic, because prior to that match, you know, there were some posts and some posts and some pictures painting Rashford as an angel, painting him as a Superman. And I had one or two people say, what is going on? Why are we making a big deal of Rashford? It's like they knew something that we didn't know. Anyways, guys, let me go back to explaining what happened in the match. I know. You can see I'm excited. Anyways, so second half we kept going like that. And then 58 minutes, something happened. Something clicked. Rashford with a beautiful header. A pass from Raphinha to Kunde. Kunde had the assist. And then Rashford with a superb header at the 58 minutes. Yes, it's Rashford. Gave us a lead 1-0. Oh my. I think I was very happy because in the first half he had a lot of opportunities. He was able to get into the box 18, but somehow couldn't finish. Somehow was not clinical enough. Somehow couldn't just, find that output that was needed. So, and I felt like, at the first I felt like, okay, what is Rashford doing? You have enough of opportunities. I was a bit, critical about his game in the first half, to be honest. Because, like, come on, Rashford, you can do better than this. And it's like he can hear us, because the Rashford that we saw came in second half. Oh my word, was the Rashford of the 2022 Rashford. Remember that Rashford? That was the Rashford that came in second half. And like I said, beautiful header at 58 minutes. That gave us a goal, a lead. Anyways, and then there were some few shots from Raphinha too that couldn't click. So yesterday too, Fermín did try some shots, but that couldn't even catch as well. But for me yesterday, I feel like in terms of attack, Fermín wasn't really that clinical. But in terms of defense, oh my god, he was amazing. He was always backtracking and stuff like that. So I think it's worthy to mention that yes, attacking wise, he didn't really contribute much, but in terms of defending, yeah, he did a good job. Anyways, the game went on. Newcastle were trying in their own end, and then there were some changes as well. I think he removed LaLiga. Can't remember who he removed again. I think he removed Bond. I think so. Anyways, Newcastle made some changes, and then they brought in their new striker, Wolfman. Oh my god, that guy is tough. Anyways, as if that wasn't enough, less than 10 minutes, 9 minutes later, Rashford said, "Oh, hold your horse. You see that header that you saw? That's just the beginning. Let me show you another. Let me give you my signature goal." And then boom. The shot of all shots. The shot that is the grandfather and the grandmother of all shots. Rashford boofed it in like a drop. There is nothing the goalkeeper can do about that. Trust me. And that was 2-0. 2-0. Rashford got a brace. First Champions League for Barcelona 2025 game. Away against Newcastle. Rashford said, "England, here I come." And guess what? The England manager was there. He was watching the game, He was there watching the game. I was like, okay, this is good. I'm telling you guys, second goal, we were leading 2-0, and everywhere, everybody, I'm sure every Barcelona fan yesterday that watched that game were up on their feet, because we're like, what kind of masterclass is this from Rashford? What is this? I'm sure everybody that had doubts about Rashford coming to Barcelona yesterday, come on, you had to admit he kept us. He was like a shot up yesterday. Even if we had gotten Nico Williams that we wanted, come on guys, give it to Rashford, because I feel like for me it was so important, because we needed somebody to step up yesterday. And honestly, I didn't think it was going to be Rashford. I kind of thought it was going to be Raphinha. Lamy was not around, Bade is not around. So, and because Raphinha is playing that right side, which I think is fantastic at. But that Raphinha and Balde link up at the left has always been very good for us. But that we didn't have that going for us yesterday. So something just needed to click for us to win that game. And it had to be Rashford. It was a beautiful day for him. It was a beautiful night. It was a beautiful night for the lives of Barcelona fans. It was a beautiful night for Rashford, because I feel like from here, he just has to keep moving forward. He just has to keep moving forward. This is like the confidence that he needed. And even as a flick after the match was like, you know what? He always knew that Rashford is a fantastic player. He said he deliberately asked Deco to go and get him Rashford. He said he feels like Rashford is going to do well. He just needs a bit of coaching. And see, he started doing what? An assist against Valencia. 2 goals. The only 2 goals that made us won the game was against Newcastle. Anyway, the game went on like that. And 90 minutes. Oh, God. I don't want to talk about Rashford. I just don't want to talk about. Anyway, 90 minutes had Anthony Gordon scoring a goal for Newcastle, and it was 2-1. I wasn't really happy about that because I wanted us to keep a clean sheet, but there was nothing Garcia could have done about that. There was absolutely nothing he could have done. So that was 2-1. And then after that, what happened next was a Pedri masterclass. Pedri and De Jong. Oh my God. I think we've learned. I think one thing. So I like the fact that maybe I don't like the fact that we didn't get to the Champions League final last season. But I think one takeaway from that against that Inter game, which was a big mistake that we made, that made us considered, I don't want to talk about it. But the lesson we learned actually came to play yesterday, because after that Newcastle goal, oh my God, we just held on to the ball. It was like we are not, that one goal advantage that we have, we are not letting it go regardless. And then Pedri just kept distributing, and they just, oh, guys, it was beautiful. I'm sure you guys watched it. Anyways, at the end of the game, maybe like 1 or 2 minutes, Newcastle also tried to press. There was a bit of corner, throwing, but Kunde, like I said, was amazing yesterday. And Garcia, anyways, and the game ended 2-1. Guys, you don't know how amazing, how happy I am, because a lot of pundits had us losing that game. We won first, and 2, because we are meeting PSG next, and I know we are going to have home advantage, but still, that's a really, really tough game. So I like the fact that we started on a winning note. That was good for us. Anyway, the next game we will be meeting Getafe. It's likely going to be at Johan Cruyff again, because company is still not ready. But the good news is that I think we will be able to play our game against PSG at home. We've submitted a certificate of completion again to the council, and then we are waiting a feedback from them. We are waiting for them to give us the permits. This time around, I think it's going to be a positive news, so we are waiting for that. And then maybe the next game against that would be at Camp Nou. But I am maybe not fairly, above average, or maybe 60, 70, 80% optimistic that the one we would play against PSG at the very least will be at Camp Nou. So guys, that's all the news that is going on right now, and you can see why I'm excited from the very beginning. So it's been a beautiful week. It's been a beautiful week. So that's it for now on Rants of a Barça Girl. So I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about those 2 games? What do you think about the Newcastle? Are you as excited as I am? Because I'm just, I don't know, I just can't stop being happy. What do you think against that, again, about Rashford goals? What do you think clicked in that game? What do you think we did right? What do you think we could have done differently? Because regardless, there's always lessons to be learned. And then what do you think about the Valencia game and our upcoming game? Guys, just go to our social media page. It's at Rants of a Barça Girl. I like the fact that you guys have been commenting and have been responding. So please just keep it coming, keep the engagement coming, and please do not forget to subscribe to our page on YouTube, and also drop off some review here on Apple, on Spotify, please. We can't do without that. Your reviews and opinions keep us going. So keep sharing as well. Keep sharing, with Barça lovers, with Barça haters as well, just because, they need to keep hearing how amazing we are. That's their problem. Until next week, guys, always remember, good or bad, we rant. Bye, Clays.